The entity, that's the fire department. Those demons that are driving fire trucks, that's LA Fire, engaging in criminal summoning. This is relevant to what's underway right now. Let me show you the light source that's not over the Fontana Lewis Library, like I document at 6:02 p.m. where I remain at 8437 Sierra Avenue. This is presence in the path. This is criminal summoning. That's why everybody that lives at Alvarado Gardens is going to federal prison. They systematically engage in the pattern of conduct. The government has 24-hour criminal facilitation. You go to federal prison for that. This is the light source that's over me. And this is the entity engaging in criminal summoning. So they're pacing all around in engineered light while the entity surrounds with audible activity of sirens. And I want to be clear, they're also monitoring the video of the internet. I want you to see what I was looking at while the entity begins sounding sirens, engaged in also federal stalking on the venue of the internet. This is the entity that I don't have any privacy, so I don't have any. It is what it is. The entity prepared the tax returns, and this is a matter of public information. They're all monitored. While you see the elements of monitoring, they're monitoring on my phone. This is all public information. This is why you're going to prosecute civilly and criminally as well. And then you're also mindful of then the sexual violence that you're subject to, where all of that is underway inside of a private space on a ceaseless basis, wherever it is that you go. Remember, the private space is also inside of any third party or state facilitated venue. In other words, while I was kidnapped by this same entity, okay, the bathroom, the cell that I was in, every time I pulled my pants down, they were engaging in a sex offense, and that's exactly how it's going to be prosecuted. You have no exception from engaging in what is the pattern of conduct. Just because you kidnap inside of your walls, it remains a crime, and you will be prosecuted for all aspects of that crime. The entity was engaging in the sex offense while I'm subject to the pattern of conduct, while those demons were pacing around in the West Valley Jail and at Central Detention Center and at Glen Helen Rehabilitation Center. Okay, the entity was engaged in the pattern of conduct. The entity has kidnapped on more than one occasion while they were still engaging in this demonic system. Okay, this demonic behavior pacing all around in engineered light. That's exactly what was going on in the state's facilities. Okay, the entity is engaging in what is the sex offense in concert with the people of the state. That is literally the people of the state that are in the jails. And the entity is acting through what are state facilitators, criminal facilitation, those that call themselves mental health professionals, lying about having anything to do with me. I'm the target individual. This is criminal defamation that they engage in, making up information about ever having a conversation with me, making up information about how the target individual is violent or is a paranoid, or just making it up, okay, totally making it up while they're kidnapping you inside of the jail, not taking you to court, making up court hearings. And if they let you in the courtroom, they're monitoring, and it's also not allowing you to speak. Now, the entity doesn't want me to speak. As you hear, when I speak, it is shots fired. And what I mean by that is I know exactly what's going on. I can clearly articulate the fact that you have no legal basis to keep me in jail, keep me not only that in the mental facility. That was malice that the entity sought to engage in what is ongoing kidnapping and defaming while they're kidnapping. And that's why they didn't allow me to speak. I could clearly represent myself. The entity intentionally engaged in that. And I mean the judges, I mean the lawyers, they intentionally engaged in that. This was the entity that was kidnapping. Now, right now, I'm speaking to the ongoing sex offense that's occurring inside of any private space. That's also ongoing while the entity is kidnapping the target individual. Inside of any private space, for example, you go into Walmart and you use the bathroom is the private space, and the people of the state are stalking in bathrooms, all around bathrooms, meaning they're pacing around knowing where you're at in the parking lot. They're engaging in this demonic pacing. The entity sounds sirens. They all know what you're doing and where you're going inside of the venue, and it remains a sex offense, and even in third-party facilitating venues when you enter into the private space. So understand the legal definition of that. That's the people of the state that will be prosecuted as the perpetual sex offender any and everywhere that you're going. They're engaging in that level of invasion of privacy. And this is the entity engaging in criminal surveillance, right? Criminal summoning, excuse me. While my information on the venue of the internet, this is the entity that prepared my taxes. This is the entity that's group stalking and also engaging in federal stalking on the venue of the internet. While I'm reviewing this information, all of an entity is aware of what my tax returns consist of and how much I'm not getting back. $494 from the state and $273 from federal. That's an exceedingly low, but let me be clear. You're talking about years of suffering reasonable harm that's going to naturally precipitate from a government placing you under surveillance, systematically harassing you on the job, unlawfully releasing you after reporting it. Who are you going to report it to? You report it to HR. Guess what? HR is the people of the state. So this has already happened, and this is while practicing law and while engaging in property management for more than one company. That is speaking to the system that I was subject to before I coined the pattern of conduct. Okay. And that's why I can speak now to what happened before. I was subject to harassment while I went from two totally different industries, practicing law as an attorney and then going to property management, not even using my law license. And I was subject to the same violence in the workplace, targeting conduct, not even knowing yet that they were monitoring me. Okay. So anyway, I just want to document this. It's currently 5:04 in that light source that you see outside of my office. All right, as you see every other day. All you learned today was that there's no exception, and you're learning the inclusion of the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department. That's all you learned today, okay? And I'm just giving you an example because the prosecution is already complete. The state of California is going to be put on the map for what it actually is, which is a demon-possessed, corrupt entity that is placing American citizens under surveillance and then showing its true, genuine attitude toward an American citizen who seeks to enforce their rights. They are exceedingly hostile. They seek to threaten your life. They seek to take your life. They seek to silence you. All of the pattern of conduct illustrates that. While you are still stalking to date after documentation started years ago. That's a corrupt entity. All right. So it is currently 5:05 p.m. You're going to recall the light activity that's inside of my bedroom, outside of my bedroom window, as though ever the sun would be present, setting in alignment to the same apartment. And as though that's ever possible, that while at 6:02 p.m., which again, the time is arriving, we're on March 22nd, 2022 at 6:02 p.m., you're seeing demons crawling all around in engineered light. While the engineered light is being pushed through on the second floor of that library, the Fontana Lewis Library, and that light source is still at the same location it was at 12:57 p.m. All right, that's not going to be seen through my bedroom window. All right, and nor is that sunlight, that's engineered light that the people of the state are pacing all around and being a bunch of demons, placing somebody under surveillance when they are facing the fact that they're going to be prosecuted for that. We're going to reach all the way back, and they're going to federal prison, and I'm speaking specifically to Stephanie Ortiz. Okay, she's going to federal prison. While I'm documenting and exposing the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department, Stephanie Ortiz is going to federal prison. And she's just one, but one of my favorites. Okay, you're talking about exceedingly malicious conduct that has not been forgotten. Okay, it is currently 5:06 p.m. and this is P.O.C.